My name is Vincenzo Santiglia, and I am a member of the No Muos movement from Sicily, Italy. I will describe a little bit our movement, and I will go over with some other news about our struggle. The citizen movement No Muos is composed of a network of local committees which are responsible for regional coordination and other organized groups. And the found declaration adopted on November 18, 2012, Muos is described as a non-partisan and non-denominational movement that can be joined individually. It is composed of different people and cultures and diverse political beliefs, but all of them have committed themselves to the indispensable values of freedom, equality, solidarity, anti-fascism, anti-militarism, anti-racism, and the fight against the mafia and homophobia. Since its foundation, the main task of the movement has been the fight against the establishment of the MUOS, Mobile Users of Objective System, a system of military satellite communication called SATCOM, of high frequency and low bandwidth, not exceeding 64 kilobytes, under the direction of the Department of the Defense of the United States. MUOS was built inside the Naval Radio Facility Transmission, NRFT, number 8. Communication military base, few kilometers from the city of Sicily, in the middle of a forest called Corcovac Forest of Sicily. This area has been declared a site of European community interest. MUOS is a complex planetary military system of communication with 4 land stations that are in Sicily, Virginia, Hawaii, and Australia, and 5 satellites worldwide, which allow global coverage of the terrestrial area and unprecedented speed of communication, so that the control of drones and electronic weapons from a distant control center is no problem. This is the most modern military technology which introduced us to what is called Star Wars. The fight against MUOS meant not only to prevent the construction of a new military facility in Sicily, but above all the block the acceleration in warlike politics all over the world. Behind this important fundamental motive, there are other reasons of local nature, such as the prevention of harmful electromagnetic radiation on the population of Sicily and southeastern Sicily, and also of the whole environment with its flora and fauna. It was also an attempt to reawaken the renewed commitment to the demilitarization of Sicily. The Azaren has been used since 1945 as a natural aircraft carrier in the middle of the Mediterranean Sea, with very powerful military bases such as Sigonella, Augusta, Trapani, Lampedusa, and more, from which fighter bombs, warship, nuclear submarine that take off and return from war mission to the hottest regions such as Afghanistan, Iraq, Syria, North Africa, East Africa, and Sub-Saharan Africa. In 2016, in spite of great fighting and incessant resistance of the population, MUOS was completed and put into operation immediately after, thanks to a number of forced legislative decisions. The goal of our movement remained the dismantling of MUOS as well as of the NRTF military base, naval radio transmission facilities, in order to give back to the city of Nisceni its corpo forest and finally transform Sicily in an island of peace in the center of the Mediterranean, with free access for migrants and refugees who are looking for a life in dignity. We don't want to be a wall of a fortress called Europe. In recent years, the movement has practiced various forms of resistance: road blockades, occupation of military antenna, massive invasion of the military base, counter-information in Nisceni, and drought in the island, scientific studies on the harmfulness of electromagnetism, legal action and events, conference, symbolic actions, and camping of protests. A long experience of protest and resistance was accompanied by various victories, such as the confiscation of the MUOS construction site for black construction or the court decision of the regional administrative court that confirmed the harmfulness of military facility. However, these partial victories and the ongoing mobilization have not been able to expand correspondingly beyond Sicily and create a national and international opposition front against the war at the level of the goal. If we consider what was said before, namely that MUOS is not just a simple military facility, but a link in a complex worldwide system for the new technological world. For this reason, the United States government, together with the Italian government, has put into effect highly restrictive initiatives with the intention of introducing some legislative measures and advising the regional government on some administrative measures that have allowed MUOS to be completed and put into operation. The repression against activists has been and still is particularly severe. They have been the target of hundreds of lawsuits, fines, arrests, bans, and pressure of all kinds. Mafia, political, and psychological. But despite all this, the action in our movement have never stopped. Not as the pool of lawyers and scientists who accompany our movement given up. But although that will continue, we will continue our struggle. Is there fatigue the emigration of many activists to the north of Italy and north of Europe? Sicily is and remains a country beaten with high unemployment, and the resignation of a good part of the population that has supported our movement have caused a slowing down of activities, still emphasized by COVID-19. During the last months, we tried to revive the active resistance both in Nisceni and in other places in Sicily. The initiative was resumed on 8th of August 2020. We protested again at the gates of the United States military base. And next October 10th, we held an important regional meeting to plan the resumption of the capillary mobilization. The last, but not the last, we have a novelty in Sicily because we have discovered that there is a laboratory of medical research called NAMRU 3 means Naval Medical Research Unit 3. This was a historical secret laboratory that was in Egypt near Cairo, and strange coincidence, by the beginning of this year is in Sicily, inside the base of Sigonella. So we can offer a new question. We don't know a lot of other about this, but we will try to discover something more. Sorry for my bad English.